Well, I remember October 17th when I reached out for help. After 23 years of my addiction of off and on and hiding it. I remember that day, October 17th, that I reached out for help. I because I was so lost, and I was so grateful back at home. Our prevention team and my my friend Jeff, my brother, and my ex coworkers, because I used to work with them. They act on it so quick. For a 4.5 hour drive, I was just thinking like, after three detox and not falling through to go to rehab, and through that time, I was always thinking I need this rehab because I need to heal myself. So I was just doing a lot of thinking. I was hurt, lonely, you know, hating myself because of what I'm put myself through and putting my family through because of my addiction. And I did a lot of thinking, and I remember pulling up here to Tees, Alberta. Here's Serenity Ranch. As soon as I pulled up here, I was like, just seeing that sign there, pulling up to the gate, Serenity Ranch. I was like, oh right, they have horses here, but they don't. So, you know, um, but I remember pulling up here. I was like, oh man, I'm really doing this. So, I remember Bryden walking up to me right away and asking me like how I was doing, and I was scared. Um, then my first question, how long am I here for? He just starts laughing. Then like what's the stays? I was asking, and he said, well, it's up to you. You can take 4 weeks or the 8 week. At that point, I choose 8 weeks because I had nowhere to go. I said, I'm here for the long haul. But you know, I stayed for. This is my fourth week. I'm going home, feeling like a better man. Like I found my peace. Uh, I remember sitting in my room, my first day in detox, sitting in that room, and like I was hurt. Like, and finally moving up to your room where you get a room finally with a bigger bed. And then I was sitting there. I had my binder, my books you have, your homework assignments you do all those weeks. And then to me here, this rehab made me find God again. I left him because of my addiction. Because they always talk about who's your higher power. I used to go around and go to church and do a lot of testimonies because I used to be a gang member like 8, 9 years ago, selling drugs and stuff like that. And I used to go around talking, and at the same time I fell back. I relapsed, and I relapsed hard because I fell back in the drug I was on, and it was coke and crack. It was my main drug. I never drank, but I have a few drinks, but it was mainly coke and crack. And I left him. I left my God, my Jesus, and this place made me find him again. I started praying. I started reading my book, my Bible, and found my peace and found myself again. I remember sitting there my first day of class, October 19th. I remember, and I was listening to this radio station. It was a gospel station. Feeling lost. You know, God talks to you anyway, through a book, through a song, through anything. You just have to open your heart and listen. There's gonna be times I met a lot of atheist people here, but I keep my I always tell them you need to find your higher power. So you need to find it and find yourself. You know, I remember that morning getting ready for my first day of class. I was sitting there like getting ready for my 8 o'clock morning class, and I was still feeling lost and feeling, I don't know, why am I here? You know, just that message brought me up, and it says Jesus calls and says, leave all your burdens and be all worth it. And you won't be walking alone. And that really hit me hard. Like it made me just, I'm ready to tackle my addiction and put work into this. Like this is my first rehab, and I'm grateful for iRecover. You know, you really have to put your work, especially with the assignments here. Then I get up every morning 6:30, pray, do my readings, and I'm ready to tackle each day. Did all my assignments. Just put work into it. You'll find it. You find what triggers you and what makes you drink and what are your drug. Me, I was what I found out I was in denial for how many years that I didn't have a problem. Then I realized counting the years since I started. I'm 42 years old, and I started doing this when I was 18. That was 23 years of denial, and it made me realize, that long. I'm grateful for this place, and I remember because I first day I started, and they had that fire burning. It was my first day of class. It's a fire burning ceremony, and watching poor people reading their letters, their resentment letters, and seeing that hurt and anger lifted out of them after they burnt those letters. And I remember standing back there because I was new. And I was just standing there. I had that gulp and that tear. I say, I'm ready. I'm ready fucking writing. I'm ready to write my letters and burn. Just admit you have a problem. And there's people out there that wants to, like here, iRecover, they help me lots. Like I said, I was in denial. I was, like I always say, well, like for instance, just today I did my vision board, and it has your plans, what you want to do when you get out. And funny thing, I was doing my vision board, and I threw everything away, and I threw my letter out. So I just winged it. Like I'll talk from the heart, because this place helped me lots, and I talked, and like I always say, like for instance, after I finished talking, and I always say this: your story can save somebody else's life. After I finished talking about what's my plans, and my plans were like my family is my number one priority. Because what I put them through after 23 years, especially my wife, I've been with her for 24. I married her November 2nd. Like I was in here, it was my third year anniversary. I was kind of mad about it, but my wife understand it because I needed to heal myself. Then she told me that we're always going to have another anniversary, but I'm so happy that you're here. So after I did my vision board, these newcomers I mentioned, my first time coming in, they all greet me like family. That's why I felt welcomed here. The very first day I walked in, and I told the newcomers, when you guys come in here, just open up. Don't hide nothing. Lay it all on a table. When I did my fire burning, I hid a lot of secrets in my life trauma, and I never told anyone. When I did that fire burning and I read it all, I laid it all out there, and there was probably about 15 of us out there around that fire, and that was the very first time I ever mentioned everything. And after telling what I was going through, and it lifted all that weight off my shoulders. I felt more happy, and I dealt with it because I burnt that shit in the fire. So when you guys coming in and it's like just leave it on the table. Don't hide nothing.